You work hard all year. You file your taxes and you're expecting a refund. But instead of a check, you get a letter from the Internal Revenue Service saying your refund was taken to pay your spouse's old debt. Or worse, you are being held responsible for a massive tax bill of an error made on a joint return. If this sounds like you, you're really likely looking for a way out. But there's a common mistake people make. They confuse injured spouse relief with innocent spouse relief. Using the wrong one can delay your case for months. Today, we're going to look directly at the IRS guideline to help you figure out which one you need and how to protect your money. Let's start with the injured spouse relief. This is about your refund. According to the IRS, you are an injured spouse if you filed a joint return and your share of the refund was taken to pay your spouse's past due obligations. These past due obligations include things like back child support, federal student loans, past due state taxes, or even their own tax debts from before you were married. The key here is that the debt is theirs, but the money they took belongs to you. To fix this, we file IRS Form 8379. This will tell the IRS to allocate the refund so you get your fair share back. You can file this with your tax return to prevent the offset before it even happens. Let's have a look on the innocent spouse relief. Now, innocent spouse relief is a completely different animal. This isn't about a refund being taken. It is about the tax owing being created. When you sign a joint tax return, you are jointly and severally liable for the tax owing. That's the fancy IRS talk for we can collect 100% of the tax from either of you. If your spouse underreported income or took fake deductions and the IRS finds out, they are coming after you as well. To qualify for innocent spouse relief under Form 8857, you generally have to prove three things. Number one, you filed a joint return that had an erroneous item solely attributable to your spouse. Number two, you didn't know and had no reason to know about the error when you signed. Number three, it would be unfair to hold you liable based on all the facts and circumstances. This is much harder to prove than injured spouse relief, and the IRS will often look at your lifestyle and bank records to see if you benefited from that unpaid tax. So let's compare the two relief. Injured spouse versus innocent spouse. For injured spouse, the focus is your refund. Debt is from before or outside the return. The injured spouse relief is easier to claim. What about innocent spouse relief? The focus is the tax debt. That is because of an error on the joint return, and it requires a high burden of proof. If you are currently separated or divorced, these rules get even more complex. The IRS has separation of liability and equitable relief rules that might apply to you even if you don't meet the strict innocent criteria. The separation of liability and equitable relief are not discussed in this presentation. Look, dealing with the IRS is stressful, especially when it involves your partner or an ex. While the forms are available on irs.gov, the way you present your facts and circumstances can be the difference between a rejection and a fresh start. If you receive a notice of upset or an IRS bill and you aren't sure which form to file, don't guess. Seek a professional advice so you can navigate these exact spousal relief cases. If you need clarity on your specific situations, book a call using email at hello@usautax.com. Please note, this presentation is for educational purposes only and is not a legal or tax advice. Please seek a qualified tax professional to assess your individual circumstances. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.